Ladies and gentlemen, it appears that Nigerian Perspective is back at it again with a fresh perspective on Wuthering Waves and, of course, all of the amazing things that have been going on during, quite possibly, the best collab patch we've gotten in gacha history. And the topic of today is about how Wuthering Waves is a hooker, hooking in so many individuals who really should have no business at all engaging with gacha games, and has become a topic of conversation on streamers' channels, on artist pages, in areas that you would never actually expect. And I'm hoping that he goes in, breaks down all the fine details, and gives us that, well, great perspective for as to how it all happened. So without further ado, let's go ahead, let's get right on into it and see what he's got to share.
With the release of the Cyberpunk collaboration in Wuthering Waves, there has been a lot going on both inside the game and perhaps even more importantly, outside of it. I mean, as you would expect from a collaboration of this scale, Wuthering Waves is absolutely exploding right now. The game is breaking records, topping charts.
I'll let him get through his data first, and then I'll come in with my special stuff when it comes to record breaking, because WuWa has done something no other gacha has done, and it's done it twice.
Across multiple platforms and joining an incredible amount of attention. Then you add all the market.
So he just showed Steam numbers. Steam numbers are only one part of the pie. A very small part of the pie, if I'm going to be honest over here. And there is another chart that I feel like other people should really engage with a lot more. But I feel like they're scared. I feel like they're scared, but I don't actually know why. I've been taking the time to do this a bunch of different times for one reason. Because Wuthering Waves, guys, is the only game in recent history that has actually been able to transcend Genshin Impact on YouTube popularity searches. You'll notice that there were 2 points in time within the past 3 months where Wuthering Waves was actually either neck and neck or at the same level as Genshin Impact when it came to engagement on YouTube. You can see we almost did it again with the drip marketing for 3.5, but that was a Cyberpunk collab, and that was the anniversary. So that's Kuro's track record. And if you want me to show you what other games look like, bro, this is where it gets really nasty. You start putting in a bunch of IPs, even Hoyo's ones, and look at where they are in comparison across these gaps of time. Bro, it's not even close. It's nowhere close. And naturally, now that we're in the dead part of the patch and we're waiting for the live stream, right? All the reveals are done. We're slowly ticking back down. But in 2 days, it's going to be back up again when the 3.5 live stream occurs in just 2 days. Misery, though, does love company. So let's get ZZZ some company. HSR is the only title that was able to do the same thing that WuWa did. However, that's during HSR's anniversary, and it hasn't really gotten to the same height since. That one time over here, right? We see that. And now HSR is just, I don't know why they're dead, but I don't know why they're dead, but they're dead. That's just, yeah, I don't know what else to say. And then this is where stuff starts getting a little bit embarrassing. Y'all like that shit? Yeah, I don't know about that one, brother. That's where AKE is, bro. Do you see that shit? It's that orange one down there at the bottom. And then you got Neverness to Everness. So essentially, that's how all the different colors are looking like. All the different spikes, all the different upticks. And other than gacha releases, right? All these other games, they're just nowhere even close. And that is what I mean by breaking records. That is what I mean by this marketing push, the Cyberpunk collab, everything happening at once is so impactful. Because we just had the anniversary, and yet we're somehow able to, because of the actions of the marketing team, we're able to get similar, if not better results compared to what we had during the fucking anniversary in terms of engagement. That's pretty damn good.
In Kuro Games has been pushing alongside the new region, the new characters, everything else surrounding the next updates, and it's hard to deny that Wuthering Waves is currently more popular than it has ever been.
And it's currently the second most popular gacha. The first one being Genshin.
Beyond all of that though, there is another development that has caught my attention, one that is both completely expected and at the same time surprisingly unexpected, and that is the influx of new players. Now, the influx itself is not particularly shocking. I mean, a collaboration with a franchise as massive as Cyberpunk was always going to bring more eyes to the game, was always going to convince new people to give Wuthering Waves a chance, and inevitably, some of those people would end up falling in love with what the game has to offer. So what is surprising is not the new players showing up, no, it is who some of these new players are.
And I think this is the big thing. Wuthering Waves is just like one of those games that has had a lot of pivotal moments where new players joined in. Think the X.0 updates alongside the mid-patch updates. Think about updates like 2.0, 2.4, WuWa 3.0, and of course 3.4 and 3.5 that are upcoming. This is actually, at least for most people's opinions, right, one of the more low-key times in the history of the game. The only thing we really have going on right now are a couple of like endgame resets, because this patch is only 30 days. There's not a crazy amount of activities compared to some of the prior patches that we've had before. No new permanent area, no new like wild exploration, none of that stuff. However, it's also one of the best times to start the game because there's a shit ton of stuff for people to like actually catch up on. Not a lot of like high stress events where you need to like, you know, actively be keeping up with the game, and you can like skip forward to the collab and all of that stuff. This is great timing to access the mainstream audience as well. And the issue, right, with the new player appeal, all of it being in a big update like 2.4 or even 3.5, right? The Mangzhou update, which is slated to be huge, it can be too much content at once and actually make people think that there's an exhausting amount of stuff that they need to catch up on. Too much FOMO from the recent events and all of that stuff. It can be very overwhelming. And so, just from like a timing perspective, this is great for everybody involved. However, the people that are going to be suffering the most, guys, it's us, the veterans, right? The day one players. Because there's going to be like 13 fucking days left in the update by the time the live stream goes live. And that's a long time for us to kind of just sit on our hands with our thumbs in our buttholes waiting for Yang Yang SP. But that's our future.
I mean, just a few weeks ago, we saw Tenzi, one of the biggest names in the Valorant
I got him to pronounce it Tenzi.
scene, not only trying Wuthering Waves, but genuinely enjoying it. And more recently, believe it or not, we even saw Soulja Boy playing this game. Like, you genuinely cannot make this shit up.
This was the part that really got me fucked up. And, yo, Soulja, if you ever see this, there's so much potential right now. Just release a cover, bro. And instead of Soulja Boy, call it Rova Boy. Release Rova Boy. You can do it.
And really though, that is where the question for today's video comes in. How is this even possible? I mean, it's one thing for people like us, people who are already deeply invested in anime games, gacha games, this entire side of gaming, to discover a title like...
You know what else you guys called cringe? It was me saying that past tens wasn't a good joke using his name. Rova Boy is going to be the next one, okay? Buy in early before you regret it.
Wuthering Waves, and
it's just like the dab, okay? Y'all were all talking shit about the dab for months. Now you love it. Now you love the dab. You're begging for the dab.
become fans of it. But Valorant pros, mainstream streamers, hip-hop artists, that is a completely different audience. So how exactly has Wuthering Waves managed to capture the attention of such a diverse group of people while existing in what many would consider a relatively niche genre? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. So
because that's the big thing, right? When has Genshin done this? The only time I hear about people playing Genshin is if they're already anime or weeaboo adjacents or degenerate adjacents. When's the time that you heard about this for other gachas? Oh, yeah, I saw Arknight's Enfield reaching the mainstream because they paid the mainstream to play it. Yeah, I saw NTE reaching the mainstream because they paid the mainstream to play it. Did WuWa go play Soulja Boy? I don't think so. They did pay 10Z after 10Z was playing the game for free for a whole fucking week. So it's just this stuff started organically, which I think is the main thing. I don't think that there's been a single Cyberpunk collab sponsorship thing where it's oh, people were just yeah, I just got paid out of nowhere to go play it. Some of them, right? But they're not even from the gacha space. They're from maybe the Cyberpunk space. But I don't see a lot of oh, XQCs, right? I don't see a lot of XQCs happening over here.
this kind of content, make sure to like the video and let me know your thoughts.
Yeah, and I also don't think Kuro paid Jungkook from BTS, the Korean boy band. I don't think they paid Jungkook from BTS to go post the game on Instagram too.
Firstly, what do you think about the kinds of people we've been seeing?
Or maybe they did. And this is a 7 million IQ play in like the most genius marketing effort ever, and then we're all just fools.
Jump into Wuthering Waves recently. And secondly, even more importantly, what do you think Wuthering Waves has done to attract such a wildly different audience and get them invested in this game? Tell me your that more in the comments below, and of course don't forget to subscribe. You can be subscribed on any.
He knows he's not speaking English here. No, he's doing that on purpose. I don't think even he knows what he just said. Nah, he's doing this on purpose. I gotta listen to that again.
Audience and get them invested in this game. Tell me your that more in the comments below, and of course don't forget to subscribe. You can be subscribed on any. More in the comments below, and of course don't forget to subscribe. You can be subscribed on any.
Bro, it sounds French. What is that?
And of course don't forget to subscribe. You can be subscribed on any.
Sorry, I'm done. I'm done.
Any of my future videos. Alright, let's get into it. See, the conversation around gacha right now is really interesting, especially when you look at how similar its trajectory has been to anime. I mean, if there are any
I think he was asking people to make sure if you like his content, go subscribe to him so you can see more of his videos. So make sure you do that.
Anime fans watching this video right now who remember what it was like in the early 2000s to early 2010s, then you already
nerd. That basically, if you was one of the guys that watched anime during this time, that's what they called you. However, guys, this is what occurred. And this is going to blow your mind. But I do think this is the reason for the cultural phenomenon that resulted in anime and weeaboo shit becoming mainstream. Are you guys ready? You guys want to find out why? Black people. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. It became cool to like anime. Like, you are a cool kid if you watch Naruto and Vegetoid. You a badass if you engage with that media. You're cool. That's the difference. Bro, if you watch Naruto in 2000, I think you got beat up at school. They did like, did all the ninja symbols and shit and poked you in the butt. And they were like, what the fuck's wrong with you, you freak? That was the meta. Now, all the kids that be playing football, the wrestlers, the track and field runners, the stars, the quarterback. Bro, he watching Naruto every day. Bro, people in the NFL be wearing like anime shirts and Dragon Ball Z shit. And the NBA. UFC. Somebody's going Super Saiyan. Bro. Black people's probably the wrong word to use. Athletes. That's probably a better term. Athletes. It's just a majority of the popular athletes in America are black. You get what's going on. That's my personal take. Because a lot of these guys, they like grew up watching this shit on like, well, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, Toonami, all of that shit. And like, guys, for a lot of people, this anime shit was like low-key a big part of their childhoods. And so now we're seeing the full effects of that in real time. So yes, anime's meta now. If your kid doesn't watch anime, I think they get bullied now. I think your kid actually does get bullied if they don't watch anime. Isn't that crazy?
You know how lonely it used to be to love anime.
It was the opposite.
I mean, watching anime was not something you casually told people. It was the kind of thing you kept strictly to yourself. If
you could have waterboarded that shit out of somebody.
For no other reason than the looks people would give you the moments they found out.
Yeah.
But then somewhere around the mid-2010s, Attack on Titan happened. And with it came a massive shift in the way anime was viewed. I mean, anime went from being this niche thing associated with weirdos and nerds to becoming something a lot more mainstream.
I don't know if it was AOT that did that.
Something cool, something people openly talked about.
But it was big too.
And right now, anime discourse exists in pretty much every corner of the internet. I mean, it's no longer some underground interest, it is mainstream. And all of this is really to say that in a lot of
AOT. Okay, so all you guys are fucking wrong. The reason why anime is mainstream is because of Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, and like all those. What the fuck are you guys even like AOT? Shut the fuck up. No, it's just for like AOT is like AOT reminds me of like that one meme where it's like that British guy, right? It's like the stick figure British guy that wants to be all like all prim and proper. It's like, oh yes, Attack on Titan. Oh yes, yeah. Shut the fuck up! No, bitch! No! That's not the one! No, AOT is like, honestly, it's just the one people talk about. It's not the one people actually like. No, it's just AOT is like the Sopranos of anime. I don't even know if Sopranos is the right term. It's like the one, right? Where people are just like, oh yeah, like, oh, that's like the anime. That's like the anime. No, bitch. The animes are Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Naruto, Inuyasha, fucking Yu Yu Hakusho, all that shit. Those are like the animes. The fuck? AOT didn't do fucking shit, bitch. AOT could have not existed and anime would still be popular because of all the old ass shit. No, AOT did fucking nothing. It's just like this. AOT is like, oh, I fucking know. It's like, AOT is like Claire Expedition. It's like saying Claire Expedition is the reason why games are mainstream. No, bitch, it's just good. Gaming would be fine without Claire Expedition 33. Anime would still be mainstream without like Attack on Titan. Yeah, Bleach. Oh my fucking god, Bleach. The fuck? Are you saying AOT did more than Bleach, Naruto, Dragon Ball Z? Hell fucking no. Not even fucking close. Good god. It's just put on a pedestal and it's like, bro, AOT could not have been that good or could not have done that much. Do you want to know why? Because the seasons took like 7 years each to make.
Ways, the exact same thing has happened with gacha, except this genre's Attack on Titan was Genshin Impact. I mean, love it or hate it, one thing we have to accept is that before Genshin, gacha was nowhere near as visible as it is right now.
And this was the thing. He's making a good point about Genshin being the breakthrough into the mainstream for gacha. AOT was not the breakthrough, bro. It released one season every 20 fucking years. That can't be the mainstream because if it's releasing, like, it releases once a decade, bro.
Even among the people who did know about it, it wasn't really associated with anything deep or emotionally moving. I mean, yes, there were obvious exceptions. Games like Limbus Company, Reverse 1999, OG Arc Knights. But more.
Oh, I forgot, bro. You wanna know which anime I think was more impactful for mainstream culture than AOT? An anime that's just wildly, like, and the second I say it, you'll know what I'm talking about. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure did like 30 times more for anime than AOT. Like 30 fucking times more for anime than AOT ever did. Like, not even close.
Often than not, gacha was mostly associated with sex appeal. I mean, for every Limbus company that existed, there were 2 or 3 more snowbreaks. Titles where even if they had...
Like, why is there porn on the screen? Do you know how many people know Dio?
Decent stories buried underneath. The advertising was never really about that. I mean, the marketing mostly revolved and still revolve around exactly what you're thinking. But the existence of Genshin Impact did a complete 180 on how gacha games are viewed and more importantly, how people interact with them. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Guna material is still there. Even in the biggest gacha games, there are still plenty of female characters being heavily
So why do you talk about gooning and female characters and then put a dude on the screen? Are you gay? I'm sorry, this is just... Why would you do that?
Sexualized. That's part of the genre, obviously.
Maybe he thought Sethos was a girl. Maybe while editing, he thought Sethos was a girl because they had long hair. That's a man. Yeah. That's a dude.
That's part of the genre obviously has not disappeared. But even with that though, there has still been a very noticeable shift in the discourse surrounding this gacha stable. And a really good example of one such discourse is the Sunbringer drama in Zenless Zone Zero that's been happening for a while. I mean,
Yes, every character in this game is a porn star.
Before, a character designed like this would have probably caused nothing but excitement across the entire gacha community. Or at the very least, it would have been treated as completely normal. But these days, we're seeing pushback. We're seeing complaints. We're seeing players, whether from Zenless Zone Zero itself.
Because you look at it and you would just be like, no, I would never see anyone wear something like this unless they are like selling their body. That's, I think, the main sort of like takeaway is that nobody would like wear this unless they're in like the adult industry. And so like, why are you making like world leaders? Like basically she's the president of the United States. But like, the United States is this area. Like, bro, like, there's like decorum, right? There's decorum and dress. And, like, you've made the president look like a porn star.
We're seeing pushback. We're seeing complaints.
And that's just not that great for world building. Yes, making the president of a futuristic flying city look like a porn star is not great for world building.
Seen players, whether from Zenless Zone Zero itself or just from the wider gacha space, openly saying that a character who is supposed to be this important should not just look like another generic waifu-based gacha design.
This isn't even a waifu beats gacha design, bro. This would be crazy in any gacha game. No, this is the thing. Even in your Gunner gacha game, this would be an insane design. You would just be like, bro, how did she take a shit? Genuinely, how does she poo? Shit.
Gacha community. Or at the very least, it would have been treated as completely normal. But these days, we're seeing pushback. We're seeing complaints. We're seeing players, whether from Zenless Zone Zero itself or just from the wider gacha space, openly saying that a character who is supposed to be this important should not just look like another generic waifu-based gacha design. That is...
Yeah, no, it's not a generic No, this ain't even a generic design. This is just insane. It's just insanity. If this was released as a WuWa character, everyone would be like, wait, what? Like, are you guys good? We're turning it to ZZZ.
The amount of change the gacha space has undergone over the years, and even beyond that, there have still been further changes, especially when you look at the sheer number of new players coming into gacha, and more importantly, the way those players interact with these games. I mean, we now have people who treat gacha as comfort games. We have communities that are deep.
There are some people trying to turn gachas into comfort games, i.e. Honkai Nexus Anima and NTE, but we all know how that's turning out. Bro, we saw NTE's viewership numbers on YouTube, bro. Yeah, it turns out if your game is just like a casual burn off the Steam shit, there's no content to make about it because nothing matters.
Invested in the lore, the world building, the character writing. And still, whether in the newly joined players or no, we have players whose entire enjoyment...
You want to know a good comfort game? Candy Crush. If you're engaging with somebody's gacha on the same level as Candy Crush, oh boy, that can't really be that great of a game, right?
It comes from pulling a new character, building them, showing them off. I mean, everywhere you look, it becomes obvious that there's been a complete shift in how gacha is consumed and what people expect from it, and none of that will be possible, at least not to this extent, without Genshin Impact. But even with everything Genshin brought into the gacha space, the shift in mindsets, the focus on aspects of gacha beyond just sex appeal.
Oh, you want to know the one thing that I hate the most? And it's not about Nigerian perspectives comparison, it's just the premise of it. Genshin paved the way for gacha because gachas before Genshin were actually just garbage. Like, think Fate Grand Order, garbage. Genshin comes in, has like WASD controls and shit, and it literally is like, it actually feels like a game. If you wanted to make the AOT to Genshin analysis actually work, this would be like if before AOT, anime was like stick figures. And like everyone sounded like they were underwater when they were talking. That would be like the From 2 to make Genshin the same as AOT. And that's another reason why I don't like the comparison.
There has always still been a threshold that Genshin Impact, and honestly, a lot of gacha games in general simply cannot pass. I mean, yes, there are people like me, and probably a lot of you watching this video right now, who could look at Genshin Impact at the time it was still the only gacha game, the most popular gacha game, and immediately fall in love with what we saw. We could overlook the things we did not like, or at the very least tolerate them, because there was still so much else the game was offering. But even with that, there were always other types of players, whether professional gamers, competitive players, or even just the more traditional casual gamers who simply could not get into Genshin Impact. I mean, for very understandable reasons, they could not really step into gacha through a game like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's slow. The game's fucking slow at the beginning. It's slow as shit.
And I think a really good example of a player with that kind of reaction, someone who I think
I was thinking back to Nicholas Light playing Genshin Impact.
All right, now we are gonna teleport there. All right, guys, watch this. We're gonna teleport to Kaya's troubles. Here we go. What'd I just do? Oh my god, I'm gonna cry! I'm gonna cry! I'm just gonna walk there. I canceled the waypoint. Let me teleport. Now I'm gonna run 72 miles instead. Just to hear Lisa in my ear. Let's go, ready? Moon!
Bro, I wish he ran out of energy and fell down. Bro, I wish he ran out of energy right here and then fell back down the wall. Like, imagine if he ran out here and then fell down.
Presents that demographic of players. Is a pretty big streamer some of you may or may not know. Rant on. And here's what he had to say during his experience
Who the fuck is this guy?
with Genshin Impact.
Honestly, this is not a bad way to set up a story. The stakes have been established. This is good. We have the villain. We have an incentive for an adventure. It's all there. After the
Why? This guy's got one of the most confusing face-to-voice transitions I've ever seen. Wait, like, straight up, I thought this guy sounds like he's white.
this video, I might become a casual Genshin Impact enjoyer.
Yeah, Paimon really owes you for that. We would have drowned, so Paimon will do
Nah, this guy sounds so white, it's crazy. I thought I sounded white. No, this guy sounds white.
our best to be
Casual Genshin Impact enjoyer. Everyone does as they pleases. That's my motto. But when I hear voice acting like
Imagine me telling you an Asian dude is saying this.
this,
Paimon really owes you for that. Otherwise, Paimon likely would have drowned.
I feel like the game is making fun of me. They think I'm a retard. The game is lucky. It's true, but when I hear this type of voice acting in Japanese media, it's like they think I'm an idiot.
Now, before any Hoyo person watching this video sends hate his way, I highly recommend watching.
The reality is, guys, his viewpoint is entirely correct because Genshin Impact, as we all know, is made for children. Like Honkai Nexus Anima. And the core audience for it is actually kids. That's why Paimon is the mascot of the game, blah, 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 all of that stuff. WuWa is... If I were to design a range name that WuWa is made for, it's the 15 plus mark. I think 15 plus is the proper time in Wuthering Waves for you to have grown up enough to be able to appreciate storytelling that isn't holding your hand the whole time. And the expectation is that you have a reading comprehension level that doesn't require you to get reminded every 10 minutes what's occurring, right? And the end result is that one story is made almost like a Saturday morning cartoon because the viewers are retarded. And the other is designed more so like, I mean, like Breaking Bad. Game of Thrones before it turned to shit. I don't know. Pick your poison.
The full video because he actually had a lot of insightful things to say, not just about Genshin.
Because you want to know what Breaking Bad's made for, guys? And this is going to really shock you. Breaking Bad is like made for high schoolers. Yes, the language, the theming, the story of these Oscar award winners, whatever, right? They're made for the high school vocabulary and like, because guess what? You have like retarded people that didn't graduate high school that live in trailers watching Breaking Bad and saying it's amazing, okay? So like, yes, yes, high schoolers can watch it too.
Impact, but about gacha games in general. But even with all of that, the one thing you really take away from his perspective, outside of the specific critiques he had for
Hoyoverse, they don't even design their stuff for the average, like, high schooler. I think their stuff is designed for, like, preschool, elementary age. Gotta start them young.
Genshin, is that, like I said earlier, he represents a certain type of player. The kind of player who can acknowledge that Genshin Impact is a good game, maybe even a very good one, but still doesn't just naturally gravitate towards it. And that's what makes what we're seeing with Wuthering Waves very interesting. Because especially with the release of the Cyberpunk collaboration, these are the same kinds of people who we're now seeing not only try Wuthering Waves, but genuinely have the time of their lives with it.
I still can't believe Soulja... Bro, but why the fuck was Soulja Boy playing this shit?
I mean, it seems like every day we're seeing newer and newer people.
Like, I get 10Z playing this shit because it got this game got bitches and he need one, right? But like, why is Soulja Boy playing it? Isn't that dude rich?
who have
Like Soulja Boy, like he's got like 17 million baby mamas, right? Like why was he doing playing a gacha game with waifus and shit?
really never been associated with gacha have something incredible to say about this game.
So I started playing WuWa last week and it's been a wild ride. Playing with no guides, it's been a ton of fun experiencing the world building and combat for the first time. But when it came to pulling for characters, I was lucky to hit a 5-star in my first 30 pulls, and I got Ling Yang.
And that matters because this has nothing to do with
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that guy looked like a girl. Yeah, why does why does he look like a girl? What the he needs to cut his hair. Bro needs to cut his hair.
Week, and it's been a wild ride. Playing with no guides, it's been a ton of fun experiencing the world building and combat.
Don't go to jail.
For the first time. But when it came to pulling for characters, I was lucky to hit a 5-star in my first 30 pulls, and I got Ling Yang.
And that matters because this has nothing to do with the game being a gacha. This isn't about the usual talking points, things like the dev's generosity or how the developers treat the player base or any of that. No, what we're seeing right now is a new set of players appreciating Wuthering Waves and everything that has to offer as a video game. And with that said, we're going to ask one very simple question. What does it do differently? And I think the best place to start is with the video we just watched. Why Ranton went from having a genuinely good experience to suddenly completely deflating. And yes, even though we can specifically point to Paimon as the immediate reason for that, I think there's a broader idea here. Something that has a lot to do with voice direction, and even more importantly, something that separates Wuthering Waves from most other games when it comes to this particular concept.
Okay. I like that he's doing such a deep breakdown of the Ranton video. I like how this has become less of, okay, this is what WuWa is doing really well, but instead it's just, here's how other gacha games are fucking unplayable.
And that is the relative absence of what I'd call the anime voice.
We heard Genshin voice lines and now we're saying burn
In Wuthering Waves, and this is very interesting to get into because whenever I've talked about voice work in Wuthering Waves, and by extension in gacha games generally, what I'd usually focus on is accents. The idea of characters speaking in
Sunder
a way that reflects the region they come from, the
Freeze
culture they represent, the kind of world the game is trying to build around them. But
Stormwind.
But anime voices are a different conversation entirely because where accents
Up the ante.
are more specific, more about culture and identity of a particular character relative to their immediate environment. Anime voices are more general, more about maturity. I mean, this particular concept shapes how the game presents itself and more importantly, how it seems to perceive its audience. And in Genshin Impact, there is no character that embodies that problem more than
Barca. Shit. Close enough.
I mean, there's no other character that has that anime voice cranked up to the absolute max. No character that can make you feel more like the game is talking to a child than Paimon. Whether it's the constant over-explaining of things that players
Mr. Dark Knight Hero. I guess that's like the main thing, right? I guess this is kind of like the thing, bro. This is like a fairly odd parent, except it's like a kid.
Already understand, or whether it's just the voice itself. She's probably the clearest example of this problem.
Huzzah! The great mystery of the Dark Knight Hero of Mondstadt! We solved it! Now then, Mr. Dark Knight Hero. Oh, nuh-uh. Not here. Nothing. Zilch! Unless you're looking for the Dark Knight Hero, in which case...
But even if you put Paimon aside, what you start to notice is that Genshin's general voice direction, the way a lot of his characters
Yeah, man, that's rough. Also, think about it this way. Imagine if you, like, just say it. Imagine you kind of like some, like, balding, like, 38-year-old, like, white dude, and, like, you, like, looked up this game and you, like, kind of like it, and, like, you were thinking about, like, playing and spending money, but then you thought about your wife walking in on you and, like, and that bitch talking, and you think she's gonna leave you, so you uninstall Genshin. Because, like, low-key, that's a fear every man should have. That, like, if your wife walks in on you and, like, you're watching a Genshin cutscene and Paimon's, like, speaking that voice line, she might leave you on the spot. Think about the number of, like, Genshin players that never ended up playing the game because of that.
sound leans heavily into that exaggerated, over-the-top anime style of speaking. Now, to be fair, there are absolutely incredible exceptions. I mean, performances like Keith Silverstein as Zhongli or Richard Tatum as Piero, where the actors take the material they're given and turn it into something phenomenal. And the same goes for someone like Amber Lee Connors as Farina, who takes a very anime-styled character and still makes the performance feel distinct and memorable. But
there are only a couple of, like, pretty good ENVAs. And I think one thing for certain we've seen firmly established is that, like, for some godforsaken reason, a lot of the characters in Fontaine and early Natland sound good, and then afterwards, they just sound really bad. I don't know what happened in after, like, 5 point whatever, it got really bad.
even with that said, for most of Genshin's...
Like, bro, why does she sound like she's... This is the most annoying character I've ever heard in a game before. Right here. She's actually the most annoying character I've ever heard in a game. Potentially only met by Vivian and ZZZ.
Cast, whether playable characters or NPCs. What you're usually getting is that very familiar anime voice, the kind of voice direction we've seen across countless other gacha games and anime before. And for a lot of people, that style carries a certain childishness to it. Or even worse,
Bro, get this shit off my screen, bro. Bro, this
creates this impression that the game itself is talking down to them, like it assumes its audience are children.
So your bad luck is all used up. We'll be down the mountain in no time.
Master Jean also suggested that I come along. I am the shimmering light that flows from the eyes of the Creator.
And I genuinely believe
You know what WuWa does instead? They get random VAs who have never done a voice acting job before.
While the moon cycles,
I don't think Yuno's VA is even known. I don't even think she's known, bro. And this is the type of shit that they're putting in the game.
we bask in glory. Miss me to the hero of heroes. Oh, with pleasure. I've had my fun. My turn to watch. I'll indulge you with style and grace. Now watch closely.
Wait a second. She has one really, really good line over here.
The moon. I've no face. You dare face me. All of me.
Yeah, I didn't even realize.
Is that all? You
oh, this is the one that I hear all the time.
All
yeah,
of
that's when
me.
she's damaged. Yeah, okay. That's why I hear this one all the time. They just grab random ass VAs and shit, bro, that like don't even have like known roles, and they somehow make them all sound good. Yeah, they somehow make them all sound like really, really, really good.
While the moon cycles, I remain the anchor.
And you know what
Need
Kuro does,
something?
or you know what Hoyo does? They take really good VAs like Emmy Lowe and then make them sound like Columbina. They take some of the best voice lines that you can like do in the anime space and they turn this bitch into Columbina, bro. Bro, how many resonance skills does she have?
Not bad. Let's play. Yoink. Mine now. Optics. Oh, no. Haven't caught on use. Home. Have budget grade tech. Hold still.
Bro, she's got like 7. Bro, she has 12 heavy attack.
System purge! Back doors open! Data wipe! Left yourself open. Too slow. Feeling glitchy? Feel the pain.
Bro, she's got... Holy shit!
System purge! Back doors open!
These are my favorite ones. But that's what they do with Emmy Lowe. Compare that to Columbina. Oh, Rover, your lollipop. Wah.
this, as small as it may seem, is one of the biggest reasons why so many people who don't normally gravitate towards gacha are able to gravitate towards Wuthering Waves. I mean, don't get me wrong. The game obviously has a lot more going for it than just voice direction. I mean, there is the story, the over-the-top action, the sheer creativity Crew keeps putting into these updates to make each new patch feel fresh. All of that absolutely.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can we just give like a... The fact that they got the VA for Rebecca to do this crazy of a job too, bro, is just wild.
Get ready for fireworks! Say your goodbyes!
Bro, this is still my favorite line in the game.
Say your goodbyes!
It doesn't even sound like she's pronouncing the words properly, bro. She's just yelling.
Say your goodbyes!
Matters, both from a gameplay standpoint and from a storytelling one. But I really...
Wait, sorry, I gotta listen to the rest. That's just her ult line, bro.
do think the voice direction in Wuthering Waves is what has that extra layer of seriousness, memorability, emotional weight that makes its characters, and even more so, the stories they're involved in hit as hard as they do. I mean, take Fenrico for example. This is basically an NPC in Renacita. I'd not even one that gets a huge amount of screen time. I mean, you can count the amount of...
Oh, this guy's story was actually so well... This guy had one of the best, like, antagonist off-screen stories, like, ever.
Times Fenrico actually appears throughout the entire story. And yet, despite that, one thing we can all agree is that Fenrico left a massive impression on people. I mean, even now, he's still one of those characters players remember very clearly. So ask yourself this.
Yo, I'm pretty sure most people would love... I would really like another, like, Order of the Deep character. I would really like that. That'd be cool, actually. Like, somebody that's in the same faction as, like, Phoebe or something like that. But they're like the other side?
Why is that so? I mean, yes, you can point to the design, you can point to his role in the story and the place he occupies within the larger narrative. All of that plays a role in building up his memorability as a character. But I genuinely think the single biggest reason Fenrico stuck with people the way he did was his voice. The feeling that the moment this man starts to talk, you as the players cannot afford to be distracted. I mean,
low-key, low-key, make him playable.
I mean, there was a seriousness to the way he spoke that instantly told the players to lock in and pay attention.
This lantern, carry it forth. Should the journeying paradise come, it will emerge from Septimont, where the righteous one shall surely be.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. It's just, yeah, you could just, I think this was the quest with Chu Yan and Fenrico, who both have really good VAs. So it's just like two dudes just like two dudes just talking.
The path born of injustice must be fortified with further transgressions. No. Even with the body perished, hope and salvation shall endure.
Yeah, I think for Renacita, you have to play it in English. I think I can comfortably say WuWa 2.0 to WuWa 2.0 to 2.7 should be played entirely in English. Like, it's better. Yeah, no, the English is the better voiceover for the entirety of Renacita. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. English is the canon language.
Righteous one.
Carlotta has Rin's VA and JP. Jennifer English sounds better than the JP Carlotta VA. Like, nah, I'm sorry. You can disagree with that, but you're wrong. Jennifer English sounds better than the Rin VA. You're just an annoying Fate fan. Just shut up.
Please save Renacita's souls from the paradise.
And honestly, the same can be said for so many other characters and so many other stories in Wuthering Waves. And once you really understand that, just about...
And the reason why I talk about Jennifer English being so important is because of this. Bro, she literally marked, like, a new chapter for how, like, insanely good voice acting could be in a gacha game.
A new era awaits. In the name of the Montellis.
Like, bro, come on. Like,
masterpiece complete.
Are we on drugs here?
Victory favors me. Victory favors me.
This is like the line. Everyone remembers this line.
Stand down. The world is mine.
That one's good too. Everyone knows her first old voice lines.
Glory demands more. Victory favors me.
All of those. Yep, you know all of those. Oh, and where's the one for sprinting? Wait, where's the sprinting one? Here we go.
Can you keep up?
Yeah, you heard that one a lot.
Everything else starts to make so much sense. I mean, you begin to understand why in some of the best stories the game has offered, whether it's the 2.5 for Lover story or the 3.1 A-Myth story, the most memorable parts are not necessarily the cutscenes or the fights or the insane spectacles, no. I mean, more often than not, the parts people remember the most, the parts people point to as the most emotional, are the dialogues, the quiet moments, the simple conversations between characters just talking to each other. And all that's more than any-
Oh, I forgot to mention this. knowing how important this stuff is, doesn't it mean so much that the Cyberpunk collab got its EN dub? I know Fate fans would never know what it's actually like to hear what the characters are supposed to sound like in your language, where your HSR units are talking in English, but then the Fate characters are Japanese for some fucking reason. They didn't do that here.
Need something?
I watch Edgerunners with the dub and with the sub, and I like the dubbed version of Edgerunners better. Aside from David, I actually don't like how David sounds. He sounds too young. I like how everyone else sounds in the dub, though, so that's what I go with. They made sure not to skimp out. They made sure not to pull a Hoyoverse. And it's crazy that Kuro Games feels like they had more budget than the company that literally makes billions of dollars and funds nuclear reactors.
Thing reflects the voice direction Wuthering Waves has chosen to take. I mean, one thing you as a player can never feel while playing any story within this game is the idea that the game is not taking you seriously. Because every single thing about these stories is being treated as serious. The emotional moments of these individual stories hit so much because you as a player understand that the game, the voice actors, are treating every single line of dialogue with as much seriousness as they can possibly have. And we can understand that.
Oh, and can we just say, good thing WuWa gives the main character an opportunity to actually earn their paycheck. I think that's a big one too. I think there's actually a lot of potential for people just not really connecting with Genshin's MC at all. I feel like people don't give a fuck about Genshin's main character because they're characterized not at all to any degree. While people love Rover. People love Rover.
As players, an understanding that I believe is felt a lot more so by people who are not involved in the gacha genre, because this seriousness to them is the expectation, is the standard for them, is what they come into these games almost understanding to expect. Okay, but all of that only explains what gets these players invested in Wuthering Waves in the first place. It explains what helps them get past that initial skepticism they probably had when they first picked up the controller and booted the game up. But there is a second question. What makes them come back? I mean, it's one thing to play a game once, acknowledge that it's good, and maybe even tell yourself that you could probably see yourself play.
I mean, it's fun. It's fast-paced, right? Like, it's the opposite of what we saw in that Nicholas Light clip.
More of this game in the future. But it is an entire other thing to actually keep coming back after that first impression. And yes, that is exactly what we've been seeing happen with Wuthering Waves time and time again. I mean, we saw it with Nicholas Light. We're seeing it with...
Guys, you want to know the most diabolical person to represent this? I don't even think Nigerian Perspective needed to use fucking examples here, bro. You just need to do this. Look up Doro44. Bro, I think this guy's addicted to Wuthering Waves. I actually think this guy is fucking addicted to WuWa. Is this even sponsored? Okay, he does have a sponsor for this one. Bro's been playing the game unsponsored like every fucking day. And then, yes, he has like one sponsored video, but bro is straight up been playing the game like every fucking day. It's ridiculous. And I know he cannot be getting paid for every single one of those fucking streams because he's expensive. Bro's just playing it literally for fun. And as like the Genshin guy, right? I feel like that's crazy. But maybe this is what Doro's starting to see as well. The well is maybe running a bit dry with Genshin Impact. Maybe the well's running a little bit dry. Because, like, yeah, I can tell bro's kind of losing a little bit of steam over here. Yeah, he's just like, yeah, get this fucking Lowhead video out. I'm fucking over it. I'm waiting to see what his first unsponsored WuWa video looks like, because that has to be coming up soon.
Tenzi, and a lot of other creators who we continually see streaming Wuthering Waves again and again. So how does this game make that happen? And I think the answer to this is actually very simple. The developers. The exact same reason a lot of us, the more regular Wuthering Waves players, keep coming back to this game. Because see, one thing we have to understand is live service games, especially gacha games, are probably the genre with the single highest potential for growth in all of gaming. I mean, these are games that are constantly being worked on, constantly being updated, constantly being expanded, and even in some cases, that expansion could only be the bare minimum. So the question of growth in any live service game really comes down to one thing. Do the developers actually want the game to be better than it was yesterday? And while a lot of gacha developers seem to answer that question with a very loud no, Wuthering Waves is one of the few gacha games I can think of that has pushed for that growth as aggressively as...
It's the only game that's actually followed through on what they said they were going to fucking do, bro. I think that's the main thing. It's just, WuWa feels like the only dev team that hasn't lied to you in 2026. I think that's the issue. Is that these guys, like, promise the world, and the track record is so disgusting for all these other games. And then retarded people that made AKE and NTE, right? They've only made that dynamic worse. Bro, the amount of faith in this space has to be at an all-time low because the first 2 new gacha releases of 2026 have bombed in the most horrifying ways possible. And then Hoyoverse is just not making it much better, are they?
It has. And that's what makes this so interesting, because if even people like us, people who are already used to live service games evolving over time, can still be surprised by how far Wuthering Waves has come, then imagine how it feels for someone who isn't used to this at all. Imagine the regular player going from Jingzhou to Renacita, from Renacita to Lahairoi, from Lahairoi to Mengzhou, getting 4 completely different experiences out of the same game. I mean, imagine going from fighting a dragon, to saving a princess, to piloting a damn Gundam in space, to...
And that's why it can be a lot. And that's why I think trying to start on the 3.5 patch is going to be rough. Because you got all of these incredibly different settings, environments, bosses, all of that, dynamic story, characters. And then you got the rush of FOMO to try to, like, get to the most recent limited time event. You're going to be, I don't know, fucking running a restaurant with Yang Yang and Sui Sui, right? So you want to be all caught up on the lore. So you got to go figure out what the fuck Chisa was doing in Honami City a couple of months ago, right? It can be a lot.
Doing whatever the hell Mengzhou is about to throw at us next. I mean, how do you not come away from that shocked? And all of that is without even bringing up the characters, who already do so much heavy lifting in making each new patch feel exciting.
She's dead.
Just through how much fun they are to play and how creative their kits are. See, yes, Wuthering Waves is still a gacha game, and there is a lot that it gets wrong simply by virtue of belonging to this genre.
And that's the unfortunate part. Gachas are like a pyramid scheme, but some can actually work. I think that's the best way to go about it. Gachas are literally a pyramid scheme. Hey, here's my game. Can you fund its active development by giving me money? And I promise I'll make it better. Some of these pyramid schemes actually are legitimate, like WuWa, where they take the money you give them and make the game better. Genshin is an actual pyramid scheme.
I mean, there's still a ton of improvements Kuro can and should make to turn into a much better game than it currently is. That should not even be a debate. But Wuthering Waves as a video game is a completely different conversation. I mean, when I said the other day that this game is in my top 5 games of all time, I meant that. Whether it's the voice direction, the cinematics, the gameplay, the overall experience of playing it, Wuthering Waves has given me an experience that even a lot of the best games I've touched simply have not been able to give me. So no.
Yeah.
It really does not surprise me that
I think WuWa is comfortably in my top 5.
Of all the gacha games in this space, Wuthering Waves is the one that seems to have this strange gravitational pull.
And one of the big reasons for it being in the top 5 is that I can play it for a long time. Yeah, guys, there are plenty of games where it's like kind of like, yeah, Witcher 3 is in my top 5. I haven't played it in 10 years.
On the general gaming audience, on the casual player, on the kind of player who normally would never touch a game like this. Because this is one of those games where if you give it a real chance, there's a very good possibility that you will end up falling completely in love with it. And we've already seen that happen through some of the most unexpected players imaginable. But that is just my opinion. What do you think?
Awesome video by Nigerian Perspective. And I'm going to be honest, he actually gave one of the freshest perspectives that I was thinking about in this conversation. I thought bro was going to focus on like the details of like the collab, but instead bro was locked in on like all of the smaller details, right, that will stand out after you do kind of like an introspective deep sort of review, but maybe you don't notice it in the moment, but kind of like, you know, after the fact. Awesome breakdown, awesome analysis, a lot of opportunities for us to come in, add some additional viewpoints, but yeah, great job with this one. And despite the fact that bro was absolutely not speaking or communicating in proper English during that initial part of the video, do give this guy a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content so we can keep pushing out that quality stuff. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out.